Hello and welcome to a new Sphere video. Today we are talking about Masked Steerwheel. This is the big sphere, the final sphere you're going to get from the end of Desert Mayhem. This is a pretty big sphere that I recommend for a variety of reasons. Mainly for raid class 7 if you don't have Lament of Dread. And we'll get into why that is mainly towards the end of the video. But let's get right on into talking about what makes this sphere so good and why I recommend it and why I saved it for last. Starting off with the first effect of status ailment negation. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't take status ailments, which is really nice for RC7 because the bosses are probably going to inflict status ailments. I think at least 2 of them do. If not, at least one of them does on the final quest for each element lock. So just having status ailment negation means you are not going to take any status ailments on that one unit because they don't have sphere locks either. So yeah, you get access to the status ailment negation on the unit itself, which is very nice. You don't get infected with status ailments, and it pairs very nicely with the final effect I'm going to talk about on the sphere. Next up, the next effect I want to talk about is status counter. You have a 20% chance of infecting any of the status ailments. Each status ailment has a 20% chance of being inflicted when you take damage. It's a little gimmicky, but it makes it more likely to debuff the opponent. Works very well in conjunction with the RC7 lead units, so like Giselle, Sorag, Tarok, all of them. Because they have at least 2 to 3 or 4, I don't know off the top of my head. Future me will let you guys know at the bottom right here. They have like status ailments purge, negation purge effects. Meaning the bosses typically cannot be affected by status ailments, but these units will purge that negation for like 1, 2, maybe 4 status ailments. It's pretty neat. Again, very gimmicky, but yeah, just it's there. It's just kind of there. That's about it. The next effect, which is actually another really useful effect for like a handful of content. Damage counter. 50 to 75% of damage you take is countered. It is absolutely massive. It actually winds up being not a bad option for Sector 18 of the Frontier Spire. Sector 18 is where you fight Phantom Alhaza, and that one's like RNG to begin with, so if you can cut down RNG as much as you can by having, you know, a fairly massive damage counter from the get-go, like having more units on your squad with damage counter spheres, or damage counter effects in general, means you're more likely to take out Phantom Alhaza when he does the attack that, you know, deals massive damage. So, pretty neat for that. Next effect is very underwhelming. 20% boost to defense and HP. Who cares? No one cares about this effect. Both HP and defense can be capped easily, especially on the newer units. So, like, it's whatever. You're not using it for this effect at all. This effect basically doesn't exist on it. But the last effect is very much worthwhile to talk about. It adds to BB and SBB status ailment removal, which is massive for RC7. If you don't have a unit on your squad who has status ailment removal on their BB or SBB, which chances are a lot of nuking units do not have it. So, yeah, the fact that this sphere has both status ailment negation and removal added to BB-SBB is really good to have on your mitigation units. I know that for myself, for RC7 going into using water units, I put Cindy on my squad because Cindy has DOT mitigation, defense boosts taunt and boosts her own defense, and all that fun stuff. It's just like a lot of defensive buffs on Cindy in of herself. I put Masked Steerwheel on her for that status ailment negation and added to BB-SBB status ailment removal to, you know, just have her sit there, tank all the damage, heal off status ailments that are being afflicted, and she just takes it. She takes it with no issue. Though, I will be honest, Masked Steerwheel is a little bit of a grind to get. So you need like 350 of one material, and like there are like 3 or 4 other materials, materials in general you need to craft it. You get all the materials from Desert Mayhem and Vortex, the Vortex and Traveler Saga. So it's not like it's always available, so you can get it at any point, but you do need to grind out. It's a grind. It's a massive grind. That's about it. And you can just like skip over this by doing RC7 and joining in for the raids where you use Thunder units. I think that's Tattle Terror 2 to get the materials you need to make Lament of Dread. So yeah, Lament of Dread outclasses Masked Steerwheel by a long shot, but the fact that you can get Masked Steerwheel like any day of the week makes it a little bit easier to grind out for. And if you don't have friends and don't feel comfortable doing RC7 quite yet, this sphere would definitely be a decent slot in until you get Lament of Dread. But that about does it. That's everything to do with Masked Steerwheel. I highly suggest it if you want something fairly quick. I can't say like the quickest thing because it's clearly not, but you can easily get this before you start RC7. So it's not a bad idea to get, or you can just skip out on it. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. I like it. I'm probably gonna skip out on it once I get Lament of Dread. So yeah, yeah, that's it. I think it's a good sphere. Outclassed, but still good. It does have other uses, so there's that. But yeah, that about does it. So, like the video if you thought it was useful. Leave comments if you have any questions. Links in the description down below to the Twitter and Discord server. And yeah, thank you once again for visiting the Grand Gaia Library. See you guys in the next one. Bye!